Hello and welcome to my channel. I have a special guest today. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Jake.
Yeah, Jake, we actually just did a video with you and your wife on my wife's channel.
Fun interview.
If you want to hear the extended story on Jake and Jess's
Who we are.
romance and life story and everything, check out my wife's channel, which is Philippine Family Life with Leah, and you can see that whole interview over there. What we're going to talk about today a little bit is, my channel's Christian based, and I do like to talk to people about what they believe. And I know you're a Christian, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I do like, some people I talk to aren't necessarily Christians, and that's fine. I respect people's worldviews and belief systems. So share with me a little bit about your faith, how you became a Christian, how long have you been a Christian? Do you have any kind of testimony that you can share with us?
Yeah, so I was born into a Christian household, actually a Catholic household, and was raised in a Catholic household for probably 2 years, a time I don't even remember, right? But then later on in life, my mom transitioned from the Catholic Church to a Baptist church. So it's pretty much raised Baptist all of my life. Now as an adult, I would say I identify more with Christianity, just being a Christian. Non-denominational church is what we attend back in the U.S. today,
How do you find Christianity in Philippines, dealing with the people you've met and everything, versus the type of Christians you meet in America? I mean, is there a difference?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if I can answer it. So I think that I do appreciate that in the Philippines, I feel like there's more people that are just in Christianity, whether you want to dissect how they're living that Christian path, or whether they're just going through the motions because that's the way they were raised, praying to Santo Nino and whatnot. But I do enjoy the Philippines for the abundance of Christianity that I see and feel around me. Versus in the U.S., I feel like there's been a large movement away from Christianity, or Christian shaming, or maybe some people that are Christian, but they don't verbalize it too much because they feel like they might be scrutinized or belittled. So I feel like it's easier, and maybe that's not the best thing for a Christian. Maybe we should face the adversity in the U.S. and witness more, right? But I feel like it's easier to just be in the Christian flow here and be surrounded, right? I think that's what we should be. Should be surrounded by like-minded people and other Christians, right? And it's easier here in the Philippines.
No, I agree, and I asked that question because, I experienced when I was living in America. I first became a Christian when I was 40. I kind of fell away, but I think one of the reasons I fell away is because I didn't find that fellowship or like-minded people. I met a lot of, I hate to say it, but it's true, but a lot of hypocritical Christians. I think there's just too many, especially in America, that label themselves as a Christian, but they fail to live according to the Word of God, according to what a Christian life should be. It's just I'm a Christian, and sometimes I think they don't even know why they're a Christian. And I think you've discovered this too, but being in the Philippines, I found people that seem to have a lot closer relationship with God. I've met actually foreigners that have come over here that we've been to our Bible group, we've started Bible groups, and we seem to have a lot more intimate Bible groups where we're more open with each other, and more proud to call ourselves Christians, I guess. Do you see what I'm saying with that? Do you see that difference, like in the Philippines, with the Christians versus America? Or is that just my experience?
No, I agree with you. I'm not able to compare it on the foreigner basis in America because unfortunately we do attend church on Sundays, but I wasn't able to, due to my work schedule, get into a Bible study group in America like I have here, which is one of the things that's helped me fall in love more with being here is my schedule's wide open to go to men's Bible study. I think that overall it's easier in the community. Like I can have banter or I can have conversations with just a general person in the community here, whether it be God bless and they reciprocate that, or Lord willing, or let's pray for it. Versus in the U.S., people might look at me kind of funny if I, to a random stranger, tell them God bless you, or you might get the kickback. Well, that's not my religion, or
Right.
So I do find, sorry, not with the foreigners because I haven't experienced it there, but just in general, just moving about the public here, it's easier
Yeah.
to integrate with Christians here.
I think so. Do you think one of the reasons as well is the kind of lifestyle we have here in the Philippines, which is a lot more stress-free,
Yes.
relaxed? I think that helps us focus more on things like spirituality. Do you find in America, I think they just get so busy with things.
Yes.
People are so busy in America.
Yeah,
And I'm sure that's probably one of the attractions for you wanting to move to the Philippines, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
assume.
It's one of my best friend in the U.S. He's a Christian, but we live many miles apart. And with our trip here, the last 7 weeks here in the Philippines, I've on numerous occasions messaged him and said, "Man, I've been going to Bible study, men's group, and it's just been so nice, so refreshing. It's just nice to be able to go to that."
Yeah.
Versus in the U.S., with my work schedule, I'm not able to attend our church's service. And that's something I miss and I lack, and I wish I had.
Right.
And this laid back lifestyle,
Yeah.
this family community
Exactly.
that is fostered here is very refreshing and very good for the soul and the Christian soul and the overall soul in general.
No, I absolutely agree with that. So let's just talk about this a little bit about you, why you're coming to the Philippines. Now, again, I mentioned we did an interview earlier, so we did talk about this a little bit. But again, you're a young man. How old are you?
47, so not
47.
too young.
Yeah, and you're married to your beautiful Philippine wife.
Yeah,
You've been
thank
married
you.
since 2016, is it?
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah. So you've been married for 9 years now.
Yeah,
You've got a
going
big
on 9.
anniversary coming
Yeah,
up soon.
yeah.
Okay, so again, let the people know, because and I mentioned this in our last interview as well. A lot of people, I get accused of this. Oh, you're just a bunch of losers that come to the Philippines because you can't make it in your own country.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason why a lot of us come here.
Right.
So share a little bit again why you want to come and live in the Philippines versus stay in America, being a young, successful man, don't need the money, it's not about money. So, let's let people, for those that don't watch my wife's video, just let's go over that just a little bit, why you're doing this.
Like Gary's mentioning, it's not about money for us because we do have a comfortable lifestyle in the U.S., defined by your own definitions, but we don't need to relocate for money purposes. For me, it's all about the culture. And now that we have 2 kids, we have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I look at the culture in the U.S. and I look at the culture in the Philippines. And, like I had mentioned before, I feel like if you take 20 Westerners and line them up on one wall, 20 Filipinos on the other, when you start looking at the moral compass of a person and their overall behavior in the community and how they interact with other people, I feel like you're going to get more good people out of the 20 Filipinos than the 20 Americans or Westerners, right? And it's not that, by birth, Filipinos are just born a good person. It's because of the community and the culture here and the way they're raised. And they're God-fearing people, they're family-oriented, they put family and experiences above money and material things. Now, money is a thing, right? We need money, but so when I look at all those aspects and I look at the Christianity here that I feel like is dwindling away in America, I ask myself, who do I want my kids to be? Do I want my kids to be a God-fearing, good person in the community, or do I want them to be somebody who's like, I don't need God. I just need to go to work, Dad. I need to make money, Dad. I need to buy that car, Dad.
Right.
And I feel like raising my family or continuing my family tree in America is just going to foster that versus here where my kids can go to Bible study like me and they can go to church and, just be surrounded with God-fearing Christian-like people.
Oh, great points. Really. So you're here. You've been here for a few months, right?
We're going on 2 months, but we leave
2 months,
tomorrow.
okay.
So
you're going back to America tomorrow. So the purpose of this trip really was, I think you were just trying to reinforce your belief that this is the place you want to be. So you're coming, getting more of and you've been here for extended periods of time before.
Yes.
But this trip was really to decide if this is where you want to live. Is that correct?
Yeah. So this is my 5th trip to the Philippines, almost totaling an accumulative time of, I would say 8 or 9 months cumulatively over five different trips. And This was the first trip as a family of 4. Our last trip, our son, who's 6 now, was 10 months old. So it was just he, my wife, and I. This time, my daughter being 4, son being 6, we said, let's go see what it feels like as a family of 4, if it feels right as a family, and if that's where we want to raise our kids. So, a lot of people back in the West that know I'm here, they think I'm on vacation, but it's really a recon situation to see, let's get involved with Christian-like people, get into a network. That's how Gary and I met. I've been going to Bible study with Gary, and, just get in with our people that we would commingle with here and see, is this a good fit for our family?
Right,
and, this trip solidified that for us.
Right.
You're exactly right. The U.S., there's a lot of good things about the U.S. and there's a lot of opportunity in the U.S., but you have to work for it. You're not going to be home with your family as much. And then what you do earn and work, you got to give a large portion of that to the government. So here, in my assessment, it only takes a fraction of what it costs to live in the U.S. to live a great life here. So if you can just create that with your online business or whatever you do, create that fraction of an income, relocate here and spend every waking hour, minute, and time with your family, doing family things, godly things, because we only live this life once, right?
Exactly.
Right? So if you want the best of it and you want to spend all that time with, in my case, my kids and my family, then this is the place for us. Not the U.S. going to work 40 hours a week.
No, I totally agree. And you've already made a lot of good points and things that, reasons why you would want to live in the Philippines. The one thing you haven't quite decided on is where.
Yes.
We're in, if you don't know, we're in a place called Dumaguete right now. In fact, what made you come to Dumaguete?
You. You and your wife and a lot of other vloggers.
Well, thank you for that. And but it's a good place to start and check out. I've been here a few years, and I'm getting a little burnt out with Dumaguete. I mean, I came here because I used to live in Manila. I got stuck there during this COVID craziness, and so I just it was terrible where I was at, and so getting to Dumaguete was like being set free from prison. It was amazing. Exactly. So it's been a blessing for me to be here. But I've definitely got to that point where I think, from what my needs are, what I like, and everybody's got different needs. But I think Dumaguete is just a little small for me. Doesn't have a lot of things I'm used to. I like a little bigger city. I like more restaurant choices, shopping malls, better infrastructure, and things like that. And I think you do too. So anyway, in saying all that, what other places are you considering? And where do you see yourself being?
So I can say one, a lot of my time has been spent in Davao, which we like Davao. We both like Davao.
I hear good things about that.
The only thing as a foreigner with Davao is I feel boxed in because of certain groups of people. It's not safe to go far south. It's not safe for me to go northwest. That said, I'm an adventurous person, so I like to venture out. I don't want to be boxed into Davao City, which I find to be a very, very safe place. So Davao is out of the question for us for that reason, permanently. I love to visit though. I've spent a little time in Cebu. I like what Cebu has to offer, although like everybody says, Cebu's very heavy traffic, very congested, which I can agree with, but there are a lot of amenities in Cebu. And I feel like, and this may not be possible today, in today's time with the traffic and population, but I feel like there was a point in time where if you could just find a few minutes out of Cebu, but quickly access Cebu, it's good. One for the airport as well, because if I need to egress out of the country, in and out of the country, being close to that airport's great. So now we're on the hunt of looking and considering Iloilo based on some other vloggers, because I feel like Iloilo is like a mini Cebu, not as crowded, but it's got the infrastructure, has the modernization. It has, I like to be physically active. They have bike paths. And it looks like, if you look at Iloilo compared to somewhere like Duma, there's a lot of good things about Dumaguete as well, but if you just compare the two cities, I think it's clear to see who's putting money back into their city versus Dumaguete, where there's a lot of foreigners and bringing a lot of money in. It's like, where's the money going? It's not going into the infrastructure. It's not going into cleaning up the streets. There's no red lights. There's no stop. So You know, it just seems like the people have a little bit more pride, and I say not the population, but the city council, whatever.
Right.
These people in government are taking more pride in progressing the city like a city like Iloilo. So that's on our list to scope that one.
Yeah, and it's on my list to check out too, because I've never been there, but I've heard the things you have. Just real quick on Cebu, because I lived in Cebu for a couple of years actually, and I had it kind of on my list. I'm thinking, well, if I left Dumaguete, would I go live in Cebu again? But the problem is, and I lived in the center of Cebu, like in downtown there, not far from the Ayala shopping mall.
Okay.
And the traffic's just, it's just unbearable. In fact, from the apartment I used to live at, I would walk to Ayala. It took about 20 minutes because it took longer to drive. So, but still, that's kind of a long walk when it's hot and just, back and forth there. So just the traffic is too much. I actually tried living on Mactan Island for 1 year, not far from the airport. It's actually in Mactan Newtown, I think.
New and upcoming place.
And it's nice there and all that. But again, you're kind of isolated to that area, and it's like if you want to take advantage of the amenities you were talking about, it's hard to get to them. I mean, it's good to getting to the airport and things around Mactan Newtown, but if you want to go to the big shopping malls, you've got to cross the bridge into Cebu, and you hit rush hour traffic. You could be 2 hours getting there.
I agree. I think if you are looking for like a suburbia lifestyle, like out of the city but quick access, Cebu is no longer the place. I think Cebu's nowadays really applicable to the city dweller who wants to live in the condo in IT Park or Business Park and just go out of your condo, walk straight down, and walk into all the amenities. That's not me. Not with a family of 4. I'd like a yard for my kids. So that's why Cebu's kind of like on the back burner for us. And now we're looking at smaller but still more modern places like Iloilo and maybe some other ones we don't know about yet.
Hopefully we'll end up somewhere in the same
be neighbors one
place.
day.
That would be awesome. Okay, a couple of things before we finish. We started off talking about Christianity. And I kind of want to go there a little bit more. Do you feel that you will be able to have a better opportunity to grow in your faith living over here?
Absolutely. Okay. I think that when you're able to unsubscribe to the rat race in America and focus more on family and your spirituality, yes, one, you get to focus more on it. And then 2, because you're now focusing more on it, you grow like anything, right? You go to the gym, you grow. And that's one of the things I seek is growth in my spirituality, especially not only for myself, but because I have kids to raise, right?
Exactly.
And I have to be a leader to my family, not only my kids, but my wife, in all realms of life. And if you're not in the Word, because you're at work, you're too busy keeping up, I can't be a leader to my family or my kids and set that example.
Well said.
I want to understand more of the Word to a level that I can reflect to my kids, hey, this is why you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that or you should go this direction because the Bible tells us here, this is the way we're to walk through this path. And although I'm a Christian and although I'm a believer and I feel like my moral compass is good, I don't have all the answers and I don't have all the infinite understanding of the Scripture to be able to just guide my kids, and it's all about guiding my family.
Right, well, this is why we gather once, twice a week to try and strengthen each other and help us grow and understand more. And it's much easier to do that within a group of people than trying to do it by yourself. Fellowship is, I think, essential as a Christian.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, last thing. You have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
And with your wife, and I know it's been a little kind of inactive for a while, but we hope that's going to change. It's actually a very successful YouTube channel. I need to watch more videos. I've watched a couple, and you guys do an amazingly good job. So,
thank you.
And I love the theme that you with families.
Yeah, family vlogs.
That's what you do too. So why don't you take this little opportunity to talk about your channel, the name of the channel, the content, and I'll stick a link to it as well.
So we started our channel when I started traveling to the Philippines to share my life here with my family. Once my wife immigrated to the U.S., then we continued it for her family here, and it just evolved into a family vlog once we had kids. We did it initially just to capture family memories because maybe like you, like me, when I was growing up, there was a coffee table and photo albums, so you could reflect back on past memories. And now that's kind of non-existent. So in today's times, the best way to capture memories now is video. So we did that, and so we've been capturing a lot of family memories of our life in California. And we have been stagnant for a little while, just because of the editing and the busyness of the kids. But we're hoping to get back to doing more videos, especially being inspired by you guys and your family vlogs. So
Thanks for that.
But it's Jake and Jessette, Jake, Jessette, Jesset. And if you guys are interested to see our life in California and our trips here as well.
Absolutely, definitely check that out. And again, I'll put the link in the description. So thank you so much for taking this time to talk with me.
Appreciate our friendship.
And wow, I do too. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to miss you actually. You're leaving tomorrow, so
I know.
hopefully we'll keep in contact.
No more Bible study for me. My gosh, guys.
We'll keep in contact, and hopefully you'll get back soon, and we can work on having a stronger relationship. It'll be great.
Yeah.
So God bless you.
Look forward.
God bless everyone.
God bless you too.
Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Yeah.